before we get started, this particular portion is going to go into a lot of my discovery evidentiary stuff. It's going to be kind of deep, and then after that, you and knowing about real estate and everything, you can give your spiel and everything like that. So yeah, go ahead and introduce it out.
Well, good evening or morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Controversies Are Us, and also Joseph Diaz here. And we had a discussion just a little while back about a case down in Florida that he has going on. I'll let him describe more about what's going on there.
Yeah, thanks for guys tuning in once again and checking this out. So we want to make it really clear kind of what happened when we moved into the building. So I'm going to be showing you some interesting stuff here. We're going to go and pull it up. So this is 1792 in Florida, and we want to pay attention to this date in the upper corner. This is 2021. This is archived on Google Maps. Put a link in the description so you guys can check it out. But this is 1792 in Florida. This is 855, the building that I rented. There's my car. I'm going to go ahead and make our way back to the illegal structure. This is pre-existing structure that they're trying to hide, making believe that I did it, trying to say that I did construction when I just was forced under duress to, do some minor temporary electrical that we pulled out in 7 days. So here's the structure there. These are the stairs that lead into it. You can tell that it's very old. It's been here for a long time. Look at all the marks on the walls. Let's go ahead, and now this is when we moved in and we took the carpet out because we were going to build a kitchen here. And we're gonna this you can look at it forensically and know that this had been here for over 10 years, I would have to say. So it's like, I didn't build it. We're not going to continue staying behind that. Look how the walls are just, they've been here. It's been here for a long time. Even the fire chief admitted that this had been here, a pre-existing situation. And so this is the hall. This is the hallway. This is what had to come out. This is no longer in the building, but this is the primary reason why we had a big injury to the company and a 14-month delay, because of the tortious interference to avoid removal of that structure. It took forever to get this to be in compliance, especially when I gave 200 grand up front. It made it, no, I couldn't hold it back. So if we look at this top here, this is made out of wood. So if he would have made it out of the right material, he probably could have kept it. You see, the building itself is made out of metal, but then he added this structure and he used wood. And so in a building where he's grandfathered in, no sprinkler, he was supposed to use the right stuff. So if we go into some of the evidentiary stuff here, this is all been uploaded to the court. We'll give you guys links. So the defendants were the owner does not work with brokers, agents, would like to work with Joseph directly. Now this guy here, William Hutchinson, he knows that I turned down probably about 20 places. I had to turn down like 20 places that wouldn't allow us to do a kitchen or didn't like our idea or anything like that. So another part of motive, not only did we not remove the upstairs in hopes to time me out and just have me lose all the money and time me out, he's 800 square feet over the grandfathered in status. So the NFPA rules state that over 12,000 square feet, an automatically sprinkler system shall be provided in the system in the building. And they knew what we were going to do. They came to my old location, the one that you went to and seen the show. They came to the old store, so they knew exactly what we were going to do in that building. And then our first permit, we were starting to plan out for our first permit. And I was willing to buy this building despite the leaks and everything that were going on here. This whole entire awning was leaking into the showroom. So this definitely, around the building, it needed to be resealed. It definitely led to a lot of cognitive decline while I was there, but I still was hopeful and I still wanted to make something work and buy this building. So we weren't able to have a billboard on the property, even though he knew we needed a billboard. They felt that their current sign was sufficient, and you'll see later on how that sign was actually didn't have any working components in there. I got the billboard approved by Mitsubishi Finance, and so this was the bank that was like, okay, the landlord will have to sign that they can go there and remove my sign. I was going to take his sign, which is a frame and a piece of plastic. I was going to take that and put it in the warehouse and store it safely. He refused to allow me to do that. And again, this is also comes down to tortious interference, because you knew I needed a digital billboard before I moved in. So the only thing I could do is add my own smart lighting to it. I took this out. This was like 15 grand worth of lights, but I really should have had a $65,000 billboard in this sign, because that was the plan from the get. If I would have had a digital billboard versus a stupid billboard, I needed a digital billboard. Let's be clear. No one is going to find you on 1792 if you just have a bunch of text. So that's what we were forced to do, is just a bunch of text. So if we scroll down here, you're going to see this is what I was stuck with. And the problem with this billboard is it's just very busy. It's a great billboard, but it's very busy, and you cannot see what I do there. A lot of people would come in, it's like, I would have stepped in here a long time ago if I knew what it looked like. Well, if we would have had a billboard, we would have been able to show you what it looked like without having to spend any money on advertising. So anyhow,
you should have been able to have a big billboard.
Yeah, and I was going to put one. I got approved for it. So if we, he declined the billboard like within the first week of moving in. He didn't want me to do it. So if we look at here, sprinkler is not in the building, and the upstairs mezzanine had no records of permits. Okay, this is our architect that we hired. We paid him in full, and he was not able to finish the project. We lost all that money because of this upstairs. So if we look at the legal structure here, this is the illegal structure. He drew it out. So our architect drew it out, and then when he went to go apply to this permit for getting this place open, then we were unable to open on our first permit. So, and then also a change of use. We need a change of use on the building. So when we go back to that grandfathered in situation, when we're thinking about that, okay, if I move into the building, I have to separate the building from the back, right, to make it less than 12,000. I have to do a change of use. And by doing a change of use means if he ever wants to go back to retail and reconnect it, there's a high probability of him losing his grandfathered in status without a sprinkler. So I became that tenant that, okay, now my project, what I'm doing, and having to build a kitchen underneath there is going to make him have to separate the building, which we did, and then he'd have to, he's a retail guy, so he'd want to go back to retail eventually, I'm sure, after I moved. The goal was to buy it, but obviously he had different plans. Which made everybody have problems right now. But he obviously made a big deal about retail. Retail was his big thing. So going back to retail, after changing the use of the building type to retail to entertainment, he really probably wouldn't be able to revert. So let's go back into our permits here. So on 8/4, we were discovered, the upstairs was discovered in July 29th, 2022. And then we get our situation corrected, everything that we get corrected that we had to correct with some minor temporary electrical stuff that we were forced to do under duress. And you see my name here, Joseph Andrew Diaz here, and this is the $20,000 deposit, and the down payments, he wanted them in 2 separate transactions. And in my lease, you'll see that my name, Joseph Diaz of OptiView 362, or his liability company. We've got a strong witness list here, and which is when we were going to shut down. We gave the February 9th, 2024, we're going to shut down and leave that store, but he was still able to obtain, in my opinion, an unlawful committed perjury final judgment eviction. I understand he started one, but he should have never gone through with it after we were leaving willingly and gave him all the balance.
Right. In the state of Florida, if you surrender the keys and walk away before the judge, before the court date, for the minute that the court convenes on that case, that squashes the eviction in the state of Florida, if I'm not mistaken. So that's on its face, it has to be illegal, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely been a hindering.
Around that, because you and all the money you gave too, like it's
been a huge
I wish
hindrance.
I had tenants like you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to improve the place and make it look good, and so here's the old building. This is the one you came to. This is where you've seen the billboard. And again, we had them in the building. They came into the building and seen it, and so when we had to hire the second architect and second firm to take over this situation here. The same thing, unpermitted area on the second floor, mezzanine has to come out. So we start the second permit, and we try doing this all official. I mean, this is really good, high professional stuff. So this is where our second permit really became stagnated. It really comes to a halt. Is this particular set of bathrooms here? We have two stalls. This is the current setup, and it still remains the same. We needed to add 2 more bathrooms for my type of business to make it women have more space. So we had to add 2 more stalls and 2 more sinks and just make this ADA, which is his responsibility, by the way. But anyway, we were going to pay for it just to get over with. His contractor on the second permit one is $65,000 to change this, do these 2 sinks and 2 toilets and some minor plumbing. All the plumbing ran right here in the building too, so it wasn't very far. $65,000 is absurd. He strangled us. You know, when you strong arm somebody, if you strong arm them, that's illegal, and then you pin them in a corner where we couldn't finish that permit. So we was unable to finish this permit, and it was later weaponized against us by saying, hey, you guys aren't able to, you guys got to get this permit finished or you're out of here. You got to close. So we closed. And so this is the wall that I complain about as well, because this is where we had to separate the building, and this is where it was $5,000 to build a firewall here, which is basically a special kind of sheetrock, thicker, and put it in there. Nothing crazy, but the guy charged us $5,000. I allege hiding some of the costs of this illegal structure that had to come out. And you can tell, look at all the marks here. I mean, this has been here forever. It's probably been there since 1996. Going into the eviction, this guy got $44,000 from the trust records. So the trust records show the $44,000. It was very hard to get these records from the law firm, by the way. They did not want to release them for about a whole year because I alleged that, again, the landlords and defendants are trying to hide behind the fact that they committed perjury. So earlier we showed you $20,000 down that we had given. So he had $76,000, almost $77,000, and he still did an eviction on my entity, which is unlawful. After we're gone in 2024, this 24 here means 2024. Now, after we're gone, late 2024, there's a continued constructions without permits that I was able to find. Okay, so I'm assuming he probably tried to rebuild that upstairs because, again, he cannot have any more square footage in that building without having a sprinkler. He's already 800 over without the stairs, without the upstairs. So adding the upstairs, that really just takes it over by like 1,400 square foot or something like that. So here in this document,
responsibility to fix anyway before you moved in.
Yeah, and look at this. Check this out. This is where this is on my bankruptcy 2023 case bankruptcy, right? Look at this. He says he only had $10,000 and was paid, and leaving a balance owed. And this is how he says this is how he was able to get the final judgment of possession on the property, even though we were leaving willingly. You allegedly committed, I mean, 10,700 or 77,000. I mean, where are we at here, right? Like, that is ridiculous. And then again, like, big mistake by defaming.
I'm a jerk.
Yeah. And then here we have the bankruptcy law firm that I had hired, right? I had to get the DOJ involved, like you said, and send them nasty emails and leave a bad review. After I leave the bad review, I took it out later, but he gives me these threats, big mistake by defaming me. I'm sure they're doing all kinds of tortious interference on this whole entire civil case I got. But he finally releases on voluntary attaching the trust ledger, finally releases it after a year of asking for it, because Mitch got away with that. This is the trust record. See how it has the file name here? We added, we made it look a little better in the court, but look, it's just basically what it is. He finally released that after fighting for it. Now, this is the excessive billing as well, $39,000 for a bankruptcy that wasn't even completed. We didn't even complete the bankruptcy. We didn't even get to negotiating the debt. We just got to, hey, I'm just going to forfeit the bankruptcy. It's too much stress. I got to move 13,000 square foot of stuff. let's just cut ties and just end it. Just let it go into default, right? 39,000. I mean, come on. You got to go bankrupt to go bankrupt. Mind you, guys, this is a single member sole proprietor LLC. That is ridiculous to have that kind of cost on doing a bankruptcy that you didn't even have to complete. You only attended hearings like 3 or 4 times. Now, this is we're going to show the amendment that we did in our complaint, intended third-party beneficiary right here, and we have case law that backs everything up. Yeah, we got case law here, and we'll be giving this all. We got some more case law here. So anything you want? I mean, I know it was a mouthful. Anything you want to comment on?
Well, look, the fact about the facts are you paid this individual a lot of money up front to run a business, and he got in the way of that by standing in the way of every permit that you tried to get. He got in your way. On top of that, it's just sickening what this guy has done. With the, I mean, I'm speechless really, because it breaks my heart. I got to be honest. It breaks my heart to hear about these kind of things, because I've never met anybody in my life that's been able to just, give that kind of money over in good, good faith, like you did. You gave several hundred thousands of dollars. Correct me if I'm wrong.
200,000.
Right. Okay. So that's a lot of money for a lot of people. You gave that over to this individual and paid up rent for what, a year or so? And
yeah, we kept going, 1.5 years.
Yeah, 1.5 years. And I mean, what commercial landlord or residential landlord, and I was a residential landlord for over 20 years myself, and I tell you, if I had someone like you come across my plate, I would have been so happy. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna drop your rate because you're giving it all to me up front, cash, whatever. I don't have to worry about, you're my best, you're the renter of the century, you know what I'm saying? And then he takes that gift of having someone that honest and that upfront and giving all that and that good at business and bringing that kind of money to his table, the landlord, mind you, and then he goes and stands in the way of you being able to get the right permits to get your show in order so that you can go forward and have your kitchen, do all kind. I mean, Joseph, you got all kinds of great, just fantastic, lovely ideas, and this guy's a super creative, by the way, everyone. And just standing in the way of that for what reason other than to maybe, in my opinion, hide the fact that they didn't want that upper floor to be really be the way it was. Is it wasn't under code, but knowing Florida landlord tenant law, and it's hardly not any different if it's commercial landlord versus residential landlord law in the state of Florida. It's entirely, and I'll say this again, because Florida is a tenant specific, a tenant. How would you say it? A tenant siding state. They're more on the side of the tenants than they are on the landlord. So it's not in the favor of the landlord. So with that said, landlords have to make sure that the residences or the commercial buildings that they're renting out to other business entities are up to code, and that is entirely their responsibility, and none of that responsibility lays on you. And they laid it on top of you somehow. I scratched my head. I don't know how that's even possible. Look at it. Look at how beautiful that. Look, guys.
We transformed this place, literally.
Look at how gorgeous that is. It's just such a.
It's a huge loss.
Such a hit too, and it was such a hit too, even though it was stymied, even though it it was blockaded from being its full self because this, in my opinion, this idiot, this bonehead landlord wanted to hold Joseph up. Now, everything is a moot point because the facts are landlords are responsible for the property they own, right? Makes sense. In the real world, right?
Yeah.
Like I own a place, I'm responsible for the upkeep. End the story. So not a single thing should have been put on you. They should have given you every single permit. And by the way, everything that you were doing improved upon his building, and that therefore makes it worth more money in the natural economy. So everything you were doing, in fact, in one day, if you were to leave after your intended 10-year stay or whatnot, you would have left the building being worth a lot more with all the improvements that you would have paid for out of pocket, and some of the ones you did pay for.
Yeah, there's still stuff remaining.
You've already made his building worth more than what it was before, and this guy turns around and lures you out into his truck, and we'll get into that in another episode or whatnot. But this social engineer cat. Don't get me started. But anyways, the fact that you were pushed out and evicted from a place where you paid hundreds of thousands of dollars up front, and then for some odd reason he wants you out, even though he's made a lot of money off of you, right?
Yeah.
To do whatever he wants with, go to Belize, go to Italy, go to Amalfi Coast, whatever. Him and his wife can do whatever they want with that money, right?
Yeah.
They should have. I mean, this doesn't make any sense for a sane person, right? A sane person would not want a reasonable mind. Let's go there. A reasonable mind would not want to harm a tenant that's paid up front rent for at least a year and a half. That's just insanity.
Yeah.
To do the opposite. And this guy goes and does the unbelievable, the incredible, the crazy. In my opinion, this guy is nuts. Okay, he's nuts because he could have had you there 10 years improving his structure. And then when you did move on, the structure would be worth probably like double because of all the improvements that you had to pay for out of your pocket, but yet you were improving the structure. Now, that has nothing to do with the fact that he has to have it up to code, which he didn't. It looks like on its face, the merit of it is that he did not have the building up to code when he rented it to you in good faith. You did not know that this upstairs was not up to code.
I did not know. Yeah, and we did not know that we were expecting to have it fire ready too. It didn't have any fire. There had been a fire alarm in there, but it was, I guess, missing. They didn't tell us that we would have to put a fire alarm too. It was like really good, really bad.
That makes the whole contract void at that point. You didn't technically owe him a single dollar. To the best of my knowledge, in my opinion, you didn't owe him a single extra dollar because you'd already paid him. You'd already made a lot of money off of you, and he stood in your way and wouldn't let you do business as usual. And that's just not. You
can't strong arm, and there was no winning.
There's no world in where that's right. There's no scenario in where that outcome is normal. That's just not. That's not how it goes. Especially in Florida, which is very tenant centric, we can say, for the rights of the tenant. Now, it's all the responsibility to have everything in order before you get the keys in your hand and you start moving your stuff in to do your business. That is all on the landlord. I know this because I was a landlord in the state of Florida. Thank goodness I'm not in Florida anymore. I love you guys down in Florida, but I can't be there. I can't do the mold. I can't do all that. People are just too angry and stuff. I like the peace, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But let's take the seasons, 4 seasons, but to each their own. So
Yeah.
that's yeah, you are
We suffered. We suffered
you
a lot.
suffered tremendously. I mean,
Look at
and
this.
tell us a little bit about not
Look
just
at how she
the
suffered.
financial loss, but tell us about the relationship trouble
Oh
and
man,
the,
look. Well, this is
the
Jaya here. I mean,
stress and and the health issues that you
she
received from
suffered.
all
I
the
could look at
mold.
her suffering, and she was once happy, and then just like it's just bad. She was just can't breathe, and she's crying. I mean, she's
Financial
going to be coming
stress,
on podcast too. Hers is going to be a very emotional
financial stress,
podcast. You know,
diet.
it was a very sad situation, and we're just doing stuff that's beautiful in the building. You know, and
Yeah,
we're
you
just
were.
hardworking people trying to come in there, do the right thing. You know, a bunch of nerds. We upgraded his building too
Bunch of nerds,
with these
bunch of nerds
buckets.
giving people a lot of joy.
Yeah, he got all new buckets at that building. All new electrical. We've had the electrical company
See,
come in.
that's
We had
that's
all
an
this done there.
improvement.
That's all left behind. They came in, they ran all new, they put all new buckets with a higher KCV. It was like 50 kV. It was designed to do stage, 3-phase, everything. I mean, I don't know how better we could
So
get.
he took your,
Yeah, and then
so
I
he
have,
took
look at all
your
my,
money, and he's got
he
an
has
additive that's
1,000,
now
like
worth a
1,200
lot
amps
more than
there.
when he had it
Yeah,
before.
his building was before like 400 amp. It can now do 1,200 amp. And look, we have this electrical, all of our state of the art electrical right here. You're seeing this is all state of the art. There's absolutely no reason why that we couldn't just been able to reason with everybody in the area. Like, hey, don't worry, we got state of the art stuff. Just pipe down. Give us a break here. This guy stood in the way of our permit. We've been trying to do it. We had an 8-month delay on the first permit. Sorry for having to hook up a few outlets because I gotta run, forklifts and stuff like that. I'm not gonna break my
I'm
back for
improving
you.
the value of your commercial building,
Yeah, it
making
was
more
hard.
money.
It was hard to like. It was very tough to not have what we needed in that space, and then we're bringing augmented reality into the space. This is augmented reality, so stuff that you can see through your phone or through goggles. We were working with metaverse and
Incredible.
full
Look at this
sail. We'll
guy.
move
Look
it
at
to
this
wherever
guy.
we go.
Look
Huh?
at his console. Look at his console. Look at
Oh,
this. Look at this. Look at his console.
yeah, here, yeah. So the lighting systems, we got. This is the control center right now that I'm using in the meantime. It's a temporary setup. This is some control systems here. We've got what I'm doing right now for the live stream, and in the back we have the big MA board in the back here. So there's a lot going on. It's just right now we're focusing on just trying to get some justice on everything, because if we could get justice on what happened, then we can reopen and get the team back and start again. But I just don't know however else I could have. I don't know what better of a job I could have done. Look at here, look at augmented reality with the flowers. I don't know how much of a better job I could have done. I'm getting all the permits we need. I was focused on everything, doing it right from the beginning. But you just can't win if the permit just don't go through, and there's tortious interference on it, and you didn't even like cause those problems. Yeah, it's crazy. That's really like the whole thing. Like we really like went over some of the evidence so far.
That's insane.
Yeah, here is the old
Absurd.
store. He came to this store. This is the store he came to. Remember we showed the pictures of him earlier. This was one you went to, but this was before we opened. You came before we had the museum going.
Yeah,
So,
I was there before you had this.
yeah, before we were doing museum. So this
But
is the museum in the
ah,
old store, and
you
they were
mind.
a really bad landlord too. Really drove me nuts. They were also trying to cause tortious interference. I can't sue this guy because we never had a contract. He was always just like, I'm just your friend. Don't worry, I'll help you out. But in the back here, this is the stage.
Don't worry.
Let's go right to the stage here. I'll show you.
Don't worry, trust me.
Karma's a bitch. Yeah. Here's the stage. Look how nice this was. This was gonna get rebuilt at the Longwood store,
Gorgeous.
and 360-degree stage. And the thing about it is, this is where the defendants came to. When we showed the picture earlier, they were here. They were actually standing right in this corner right here in their picture when they came to visit. So they knew what we were going to do in that building. Clear as day. There's no doubt about it. They knew what we were going to do. They came over, and they should have just let us work 100% with the planning that we had. Because when you start a business, you have a plan, you have a budget, you have things you need to do in a timely fashion, and you don't have time to wait 14 months. That's not your fault.
They had visited your other site too before you had even moved in and
That's
knew
right.
what you were doing.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
no excuse. No excuse.
Yeah, he tried to be like, well, I don't know what you're doing and everything, and like, come on, dude. Look, here it is, right here. Look at this. Look at them right here. They came to my old store. They're right here. This is security
It's
footage.
a show. It
They
says
know.
it right there. Reflection show. It's a show. What do you
They
think it
know
is?
what
It's
I'm doing.
entertainment,
They
man.
came to my old spot.
You go to a movie theater and not know what a movie theater does?
Yeah, they knew.
Like,
It's
come
like,
on.
I mean, I
I don't know what
understand.
you're doing there. It's a show.
Yeah, he's really butthurt about having to remove that structure. I get it, right? Like, that's not my fault, though.
That's not
Yeah,
your
you
problem.
know-
That's a he problem or whatever he is.
Yeah, the new
Whatever
fire
it is.
chief. The new fire chief discovered like hundreds of unpermitted situations in that whole area. So she was new, and she was not allowing anyone to get away with any more of this unpermitted situations that were going on for the last decade or whatever. So she came in there and made all of the whole entire area had to become in compliance. Well, the defendants think it's all my fault that it had to come out because I did some minor electrical for my RVs and for my forklift. I used the proper wire gauge. I know what I'm doing. I mean, I have a stage of 300 lights. You know, we showed and we sent to the fire department our distro center, which is a state-of-the-art distro center. We got a hold of the electric company to come in there and redo the electric. I really don't know however else we're supposed to. I don't know how better we could have done it when it came to electrical concerns. You know, like, we have only state-of-the-art stuff. Nothing is garbage. We don't have trash. It's all excellent, grade A, UL certified. It's all UL certified. It's not that, and it was brand new practically when we got all this stuff. All of our electrical infrastructure.
What is UL certified?
UL is a listing for any kind of electrical stuff that goes in buildings. It has to be UL to meet code. So our stage distro center, our distribution center with the stage, it meets UL standards. Let me try to find it here. It's yeah, it's there. It is.
There's everybody else there to understand as well. I didn't understand, and maybe somebody.
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there might
Here is here it is. Here is our distro center. So, you know, we temporarily hooked this up because we're waiting 8 months. I got to show my product to customers. I got to do gigs. I got to make sales. You know, we've got to get. But look at how nice the electrical is on this thing. We've got the fire department, the electrical department putting all the stuff in. We're cooking for the team so they're healthy. We always about mindset. And there's another video. I'm going to see which one has the scene that I'm looking for. But there's a, let me look here. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so there's all of us working. Look, this is the warehouse in his place. I had to paint the whole thing. So you look at all these boxes here for a minute. Like, this all had to use, I had to use a forklift to load all this stuff up for a client that I had just gotten. They'd been a client for a while, but I had to hook up my forklift because I have to come in here and install all this in this hotel. So all this equipment, the truss and everything, we had to do this major install, 3 stages. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna need to hook up my forklift, and I'm tired of waiting. Me and the staff were tired of waiting for nothing to get done, 8-month delay, and then we go into another practically 8 months with the second permit. So they both were delayed severely, and this means, all these guys are going to be coming on the record too to do their interviews. Every one of these guys are going to be working. Look how hard we work. I mean, we're filthy. You know, like, I don't understand. Like,
it's called roll your sleeves up and get dirty.
Yeah, like, what else do you want from people? Like, we're doing our best.
You as a tenant.
He wanted the money.
You're in there working hard, because if you're in there working hard, you're going to pay me next month's rent. Well, in this case, you gave him a year and a half, so he's probably like, "We going off to Hawaii with this? Screw this guy."
Yeah, they wanted the money. He wanted all the stuff. It's so clear that he just wanted all of the assets and everything. That's the mayor of Longwood there, Matt Morgan. This is David. He's coming on to do a discussion about, and Ferrari, we're bringing hot cars to the area, and you saw those Ferraris, like I don't understand what else you need. Like people that play music, what else could we have done other than I'll tell you the biggest mistake that I have with this whole thing. You want to know what the biggest mistake about it is?
I'm not huge in the cars, but I love the audio visual.
Yeah. This is a magician. He's coming on the record too. So I'm gonna tell you what's the biggest reason why there was so many torts there, right from the beginning. Because again, going straight into this whole thing, we're not able to have the right representation. He declines our representation, right? Okay, so we know that. But I'm going to tell you the main reason why I had to fail there is because my last name is Diaz and my skin's a little brown and I'm Spanish. I'm a clear as day going to look right in the camera and I'm going to say this is a racist situation that happened. It's entirely racist against minority-owned small business to take advantage of me. And there ain't no other way to see it. Because I've seen how the guy treated some temporary help when I was on my way out. But the difference was there were blue eyes and white. Okay? And I have a diverse team. When OptiView is everybody worked from all sorts of backgrounds. Black, white, Spanish,
Yeah, you and
Indian.
I both know that not all whites are like that.
Yeah, I know. Not everybody's like that.
I'm part white. So, I mean, we're not all like that.
No, I agree that. I get that. I totally understand.
He definitely showing his colors with that.
Yeah.
Because he would have, with the amount of money you gave him, you'd think he'd be drinking your Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Instead of treating you like garbage like he's done.
Well, look at this. December 8th. So we move in December 6th. We get approved December 8th for the billboard. Yeah, you see that? Because remember, the lease... where's our stupid lease at here? Our lease was... Here's the lease. Okay, so the lease was December 6th, right? We get approved December 8th. 2 days in. Let me be clear. 2 days in. Tortious interference. 2 days in. No, you can't have that billboard. After you told me I could have it. You seen that I needed a billboard. You provide me one that doesn't even work. I have to put my own stuff in it. Ridiculous. Not fair. He provided us something. I mean, if you look here, it's just like, look at this. I did this all new electronics in there that I had to put because his didn't even work. He told me it worked. He was lying to me. Oh, just flip the switch. I mean, just like, I get it. Like, it's tough being a landlord. There's expenses and all that. But it's very tough being a business owner when you already have to deal with competition and all that. So we can't put it aside that there's always going to be haters. There's always going to be competition. There's always going to be people that are standing in your way, but your landlord should have no part in that whatsoever. The county, no one should be involved in any kind of street drama, any kind of gossip. And matter of fact, would have never had to deal with these promoter situations if we would have just had, 14 months of capital at $40,000 a month, in the bank.
He's so fortunate to have had that upfront payment from you, and that would just made me giddy, as like I said before, as a landlord. But it takes all kinds. There's some nasty people out there. Bottom line, seeing all this evidence here, it's pretty intriguing that.
Well, look at the kitchen.
It's got to be shown.
300,000 views. We couldn't even serve not even 1% of these patrons. We had to borrow a friend's truck, thing to do food out of. We lost so much money there. We're planning everything out. We're bringing a lot of, sometimes there was really good hippies that we're bringing there, but come on, that's no reason to be racist, towards whatever. Here's all that mold situation.
Yeah, look, the bottom line is if you pay your rent and you're not breaking any laws, who cares what race you are when you go in there? But when he's treating people who are different than you, that haven't even paid him a dime, and treating them with respect and treating you with disdain, there's a pattern there, and you kind of have to look into that.
It just became one move forward is 10 steps back, and that's the same thing he's doing right now in the courts, because again, it's to avoid he doesn't want to, he wants to avoid due process because he knows he's guilty. I mean, we have all the evidence here. It's all public record. I mean, other people have rented that place over the years. They know that upstairs was there already. I didn't do it. They're not going to hide behind like I did it. It's not going to work.
And
He's seen
all that information in the bottom there.
He's seen we had, we'll put all the links in. He's seen we needed a billboard. He came to our old store. He knew we needed a billboard. Like, you came to it. How could you deny it once I gave you the money? And that was a major blow. That was a major blow, not having a billboard. I would still be open. I can guarantee you right now, I'd still be open if I had a billboard. If I had a billboard. Go ahead.
You'd be packed to the hilt.
Yeah, a digital billboard is a game changer for the business. It really is. And it's really important to have it. And we just couldn't get it, and I got approved for it. Like, he caused so much financial injury to me, the business, at inception, that it caused a lot of bills and issues right now with finances and everything else. Can you hear me okay? Here's the outside of the building. So here's the outside of the building. That was the old store. This is on Colonial. There's our OptiView card. We go in. We're going in. And then we can come back here and start entering where they got to meet me before I vacated this toxic situation. This was a very toxic situation. We left this area, and we decided it wasn't gonna be a good fit anymore, and we moved on to the Longwood store, hoping for a real good future, hoping for this is the next chapter to be away from, like, we're going to be in control now. We don't have to worry about a bad landlord. And he came here. And they're standing right here, and we're talking, and yet you're denying everything I need. We just took you from the outside of the old store. We showed that the defendants had came to the old store. They knew my needs and wants. They knew that we needed a kitchen. They saw everything with their own eyes. And yet, we were going to do a kitchen that focused mostly on electrical use too. So we had all the panels, we had all the wire. We obviously didn't maybe get a few more things here and there, but we had everything we needed. We had the budget. We had everything we needed to go ahead and start building out a kitchen that mostly used electric, and we were going to add some minor sprinklers too to that area. So we're going to do later on a sewer in there. And if I later on had to do a sprinkler system in the building, I would have gladly been fine to pay for it. But when you're stopping me at every turn, there's no way I can do anything for you. But he'll have his hand out, pay me the rent. And it's like, it became to the point after 2.5 years, pay you how? How am I supposed to pay you? And then he's like,
had any income because you stood in my way.
And he wouldn't even give me a month off. He wouldn't even give me not even 1 month. He kept coming. Every time I see the guy, he was very angry about his upstairs. He was very pissed about it. And before the upstairs came down,
poor guy.
Yeah, and before it came
out,
out,
he owns a bunch of buildings and gets to go down to Belize whenever he wants and get a yacht or whatever, live on the beach. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that he owns so many $1 million commercial buildings, and he's hurting so bad.
Yeah. Before that, before the illegal structure had to come out, he was very angry. We're going to show you some of this again here. He was very angry that this whole thing had to come out. We're going to scroll. So I had a major interruption. Now we find out 8 months later that there's a legal structure. I had already built the whole place out. I have to move a whole bunch of art around just to accommodate this entire removal. And it was a mess. And again, this is all built with the wrong materials. If he would have built it out of metal, he probably would have been able to keep it. But again, it was something that was hiding. Even the floor was illegal. Even this floor, a lot of this wooden floor had to come out. But yeah, this is not my fault. I shouldn't be injured from it. I mean, look at the outlets. They're all yellow, like this had been here for years. We cannot. I refuse to allow anyone to think I did it. No way. coming from the
No, we know
front.
you got enough. You got so much evidence. It's toppled Mount Everest by now.
Well, that's why we're having so much problems. I mean, our biggest issue now, if you see on the top screen, our biggest issue now is trying to get a hearing in the old case, which is just nonsense. It needs just to go away and be for all of eternity, obviously, right? That's a horrible situation with that case.
Yeah, and we went over how it's just absurd that they're not letting you. What they've done is it's complete nonsense, man. It really is.
Well, I'm glad you got to see a lot of it. I mean, we really went over a ton of stuff, and like on our way out, this guy is like being so rude to everybody. He came in there harassing us while we were vacating.
Is that the respondent there?
The guy on the guy in the white shirt, yeah, Mitch. He's like 70 something, just so old, archaic. I mean, look his back. I mean, he just thinks he can buy his way through anything, and she's just chewing him out. She's coming. She worked with me for years and did a lot of hard work in that project. She's so angry of everything that happened with this guy. This is us walking the place on our final exit, and again, I have signs all over the building. We're going to film and record it. He knew we're recording on our exit. It was very clear that I'm going to record the exit so that we know how the place was left. You know, we left it in good standing and everything else. And yeah, oh, I want to show this real quick. This is a funny one, right? I know you're gonna like this. So this is LABRET. This is he does he does a hearing with magistrate.
Well, that's the lawyer in the first case, yeah.
Yeah. And so like, then he later on, I guess he kept this whole thing recording and he submits that to the court, like you said. Just
that's
a while.
Flashing, man.
That's zoom in here.
Yeah, that's a crime. Flashing the court.
Didn't you say something about lewd, lascivious acts or something like that?
It's a lewd, lascivious act. You know, taking your shirt off from the court. It's not allowed. It's a court document.
Yeah. I know you'd love seeing that. I put it in the server for us tonight. And we're gonna.
No, I don't love seeing it. I love everyone gets to see that this is kind of circus that you're dealing with.
Yeah. No, look at this place. Look how awesome. I mean, people are having a blast in the building. We're doing creative work. It's artists, musicians. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I had to do a little bit more of party nights here and there because that's the only thing the guy literally couldn't stand in the way of. He couldn't stand in the way of people wanting to enjoy the place for some nightlife or hanging out, things like that. He mainly lounge and social. We'd call it more of a lounge and social and creative stuff. But he just stood in the way of everything else. When by the time we got open, we had not enough capital to get this place going. I mean, we got people like on hangout nights and lounge nights. We just busting at the door to get in here. You know, magician shows, magic shows. You know, there's just so much cool talent. This is David Ferrari, the magician. He's just such an amazing. He had $100,000 in magician props for what we were doing there. $100,000 in magic props. Amazing guy, Merlin Award winner. I don't know what else you could want for like that area. Like come on, give me a break. Stay out of my way. You know, like look at all this stuff. Look, painting, people coming in there painting, hanging out, like robot suits. My friend has robot suits. Like really, people came dressed to impress. Look at this girl, dressed to impress. Look at everybody just rushing the door trying to get in. It was. Let me tell you, this place was gonna be the best thing for that area had ever been. Live music. There couldn't have been a better opportunity for the area town in the history of Longwood. I don't think it'll ever come back. No one's going to take the risk again.
On to greener pastures, they say.
Yeah. Well, we made my mark. I made my mark. I did what I had to do. Yeah, this is like we started by building a wall in the old store. This is us building a wall in the old store. Now, OptiView was started in 2014, but the company started under New Dimensions USA, which started in 2010, and that was kind of and it later became OptiView. But New Dimensions still holds the show, Reflections show, and that kind of thing. So Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, like, I did this massive install at this luxury hotel. They're expecting me to, after waiting 8 months, so am I supposed to lift those big crates out of this trucks when it comes? No, I got to plug up my electric, you know, freaking forklift and work and get it done. I can't, like, you can't expect me to move all this equipment without the right stuff that I've been waiting on. We were going to do a major infrastructure overhaul on electrical in that building. We did quite a bit. Like I said, you see the electrical department in there. I mean, we tore it up. We did a good job. I don't know however else we could have done any better. I guess they wanted me to break my back and not have my forklift, you know, like not be able to do what I need. Like, how am I supposed to lift, you know, pallets and pallets of stuff? I don't know what they wanted me to do. I don't really know however else I could have won. It was just it's impossible. There was absolutely, I don't think there's a way to win that argument. It was a tough fight.
Yeah. Social media and exposure and AI.
That's what we're gonna do. We got to keep up with it. Well, I appreciate everything that you've been doing and helping out with. I mean, it's been incredible, like, to have your help and a whole bunch of everybody else, and just like, I just don't know.
Yeah, well, together, to unity.
Yeah,
Unity's a great thing. Just real quick, Joseph and I, we like a lot of these YouTubers, we've got a agreement with a gold company, a really reputable one called Noble IRA, gold and silver. It's up and down right now, but sometimes it's good to buy, sometimes it's good to sell, buy and sell. Part of the business. If you're interested in gold and silver, we'll get you the link at the bottom of the video, and they sponsored this presentation.
That's good. Yeah, awesome. I appreciate all of your help, and you guys will look forward to part three.
Yes.
Currently going to work on all the exhibits for that. So you can see this was a great overall focus on the merits, standing, breach at inception, third-party beneficiary, you know, breaches, things like that. And just 14 months to become compliant was too long of a wait for any tenant.
That's insane. That's
yeah,
crazy.
And with 200 up front, like, there was no way to, like, hold out, like, hey, I'm not going to pay you till you fix this. You know, I couldn't do that.
Remember when you and I are Star Trek fans, right? So someone said to someone, I can't remember who it is, but revenge is a dish best served cold. Okay, sometimes the best revenge you could get on somebody is showing them that you survived it and that you're moving forward and you're fighting it and you're going to stay in the ring. You're going to keep getting back up every time. If you get knocked out, you just get back up, right back up. And this guy's taking real good care of himself. He's been put through hell, and I don't say that lightly. And good job, really good job.
Yeah, thank you for your help too. I appreciate it. We're gonna have a lot of others.
Worries.
We're gonna have a lot of others on too soon. We're gonna be. I'm doing podcasts all this week.
May the universe and the gods bless us all for our hard work.
Yes, thank you, Eamon, so much. I appreciate your time. And guys, tune in for part 3. We'll release it soon.
Awesome.
Later.
Good night, everyone.
Good
night. Or good day. Bye.
Bye-bye.